My name is Rachel Turner and I own Front Porch Properties, and we specialise in classic style and American inspired homes and renovations. I started in the industry by buying, renovating and selling homes, but then after my first flip, I think it was, that home got a little bit of traction on the internet, and then from there people started to contact me to be involved in building their own homes, and so that was the point at which I launched Front Porch Properties. And it was a licensed construction company, but the next step for me was to get my own personal builder's license, and so a requirement was to complete the Certificate 4 in Building and Construction, and for me TAFE was just the logical choice. I would definitely recommend TAFE Queensland Skillstech to others. I had a really great time. I learnt so much. I found all of the staff very encouraging, very supportive, and interested in my progress. Now that I've completed my Certificate 4 in Building and Construction, I certainly feel like it's the next step now to go ahead and do my Diploma in Building and Construction at TAFE. So I'll be enrolling at TAFE very soon to do my diploma. For me personally, I certainly feel that TAFE Queensland Skillstech really equipped me and gave me the skills and the confidence I need to do well in the construction industry. So if you as well are looking for a career in the construction industry, I highly recommend that you check out TAFE Queensland. So I just want to share my thoughts on something that I'm often thinking about, and it's something that tends to come up a lot in conversations I have with people, and that's my thoughts on university versus VET. And VET stands for Vocational Education and Training, which is pretty much just any alternate education pathway that's not university, TAFE for example. And so I guess I'm definitely not any life expert, but I can speak from experience in that I have done both pathways. I first went to university, to the Queensland Conservatorium of Music, when I was 17 to do my degree in classical piano, and then I operated a music school for 10 years. But yeah, more recently, obviously to become a builder, I've had to go back to study, and I've done my technical qualifications in building and construction, and I've done that through TAFE. And also just with my music school experience, this is something that I tended to notice was students when they started with music when they were quite young, and then when they were 17, 18, finishing high school, I would often have a conversation with them asking them, well, what's your plans for next year? And a lot of the time they would say, well, I'm going to UQ to study medicine because my mum and dad want me to become a doctor, or I'm going to QUT to do law because my friends are doing law, or my mum wants me to become a lawyer. And I just find that so interesting and fascinating that we do tend to do that. We just do what we're told or do what everyone else does. We follow the crowd. Yeah, and also I guess my parents' generation, I tend to think that they really push our generation to go to university because that's something that they didn't have as an opportunity for them. And so I can completely understand it, and I certainly don't regret going to university at all. And I'm very, very grateful for my mum and dad for sending me through university. But yeah, the thing that's so confronting to me is that people will do that, and then they spend the rest of their lives stuck in a 9 to 5 that they're just not interested in at all, and they just go through, they're just sleepwalking through life, just going through the mundane of it all. And I've never been able to understand or relate to that mindset. I just think it's so important to create a life and to spend those main hours of our day, 9 to 5, you should be doing something that you are really very passionate about. I know that sounds cliche and it might sound lame, but I firmly believe it. And so I just want to share about my experience when I went to TAFE, because I really do believe in this alternate education pathway of VET versus university. And yeah, my experience of TAFE was just phenomenal, really. I found the course units just exactly what I needed to give me the right skill set to be a confident builder. The teachers were all really supportive, all the admin staff were really supportive, very encouraging and helpful and interested in me. And you know, they even nominated me for multiple awards, which I ended up winning, and that has then pushed me on to create further opportunities for me. And they also got me a gig with Channel 10 News. And so my personal experience with TAFE was just exceptional, and so I'm now therefore a huge ambassador of TAFE. But yeah, just as my personal experience aside, I really do believe that VET is a very viable option for people, and I don't think it is pushed enough in schools. And I think people tend to get to the end of high school and think, well, they have to go to university and not even really be aware of other pathways out there. But I'm just starting to recognise now that the Australian government is just starting to really invest some time and effort and money into boosting the status and the reputation of vet, which I think is great and they should do. Traditionally, vet courses are also much shorter and more flexible, as well as being often without the financial burden of a university degree. The course that I did was actually heavily government funded, so I didn't have to pay much money at all. And I find that vet training is often more hands-on and practical, which I believe employers are really looking for that now, more so than a theory-based university degree. And so yeah, my experience with vet and TAFE is part of what has enabled me now to have a career that I really love. I love waking up every day and doing something that I'm completely passionate about, working on my own business and forming my own construction company. And that's possible through vocational education and training. So I really just want to encourage those who are at the end of high school or those who are considering a career change, perhaps there is a vet option for you. So that's just my 2 cents, and it's something that I'm passionate about, and it's something that I've been interested in for many years. And so I hope that information is somewhat useful for you.